Let's talk about multiplying binomials. And in this video, I'm going to go over some options for you. So if you're that student that always forgets what to do, or you're that student that makes a ton of mistakes, or you simply just want to know how to multiply binomials so fast your head will fall off, well, then that's exactly what I want to go over in this video. Now, to explain the process of multiplying binomials, I'm just going to go through with an easy product of two binomials. Okay, so we have x plus 4 times an x plus 5. But I want to give you some different options because sometimes everybody's at a different journey. Sometimes you want to do it fast. Sometimes you don't want to make mistakes. And sometimes you just forget everything that you're supposed to be doing. Especially that happens when you have like a test, right? Or on your homework and it gets frustrating. So let's just kind of go through each of these options. Now, the first one is going to be the distributive property. And I love the distributive property because it goes to the basics, right? Most students know A times B plus C is going to equal to an A times B times an A times C, right? So AB plus an AC. All right. So this is something we ingrain, we talk about a lot, and it's very, very important to make sure you know the distributive property because it comes up time and time again. So how can we apply the distributive property when we have binomials, right? Because it's not just a single number and it's not like these letters here. Well, all you simply need to do is just remember, apply the distributive property for each and every term. So in this case, since I have x plus 4 times x plus 5, I'm going to multiply the x times both terms, and I'm going to multiply the 4 times both terms. Now, I'm using the distributive on top and the bottom so it doesn't get all scrambled up. And that sometimes is the problem with the distributive property, especially when you're doing, larger products. It can get confusing. You could forget to draw the line or your line's a little off and then you miss the terms, okay? But now all we're simply going to do is list these out. So x times x is going to be an x squared. X times 5 is going to be a positive 5x. 4 times x is going to be a positive 4x. And then 4 times 5 is going to be 20. Notice here I have some like terms, so I can simply go and do that. So an x squared, 5x plus 4x is going to be 9x plus a 20. Now, the distributive property is great, but some students even forget the distributive property. And they kind of need even a little bit more help to remember things. And that is where our favorite acronym FOIL is going to come in. Now, FOIL is going to stand for first, outer, inner, last. So if we look at our binomials again, if I have this x plus 4 times the x plus 5, right? When we're looking at this, when we're talking about we're talking about the first terms of each binomial. When we're talking about the outer, we're talking about the outer terms of each binomial. When we're talking about the inner, we're talking about the inner term. Oops, let me go and do that back down below. We're talking about the inside terms or the inner terms of our product. And we're talking about we're talking about the last two terms of our binomial. So again, we're just doing distributive property again. It's the exact same process. There's nothing crazy or new about this, but a lot of times students just remember FOIL. And so it's easy to apply. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can go ahead and write this out. I like to just kind of write this out exactly how it's written, FOIL. I like to put the F on there. So F.O.I.L. And then I write the products down below. So in this case, F times F is going to be a x squared. We're going to add that to our O, which is x times 5, which is a 5x. Our I, which is 4 times x, which is a positive 4x. And then our last, which is 4 times 5, which is going to be a positive 20. Just like we had up here, ladies and gentlemen, or just like we had right here, we can combine the like terms. So therefore, that's an x squared plus a 9x plus a 20. Okay, fairly simple, easy to remember. Now, what about if you're that student that makes mistakes? This is my favorite method, okay? Now, again, for a binomial times a binomial, I would probably recommend either doing it in your head as you get through your experience or using the FOIL or distributive property process. But once we start to expand to doing binomials times trinomials or polynomials with 4 terms or trinomial times trinomial, this box method is a game changer. I have eliminated so many mistakes from using this method. I would highly recommend you add it to your arsenal. And it's pretty simple to remember because if I think of 3 times 4, I know that answer is 12. But if we think about the product as really the area or the side, these two terms as the side lengths of a box, we understand that the product is really just representing the area of that box, right? If you have a rectangle and your two sides are 3 and 4, well, 3 times 4, the area is going to be 12. The reason why this is important is because if I have a binomial times a binomial, again, I can represent their product as the area of those two terms, even if I have variables, right? Or variables to higher powers. So what I'm going to do for every term that I have, I'm going to create a horizontal as well as a vertical line. So again, I have an x plus 4 and I have an x plus 5. Okay, so for each term, you got to make sure you create either the column or the row. Now, all you're simply going to do is find the area of each of these little boxes. So x times x is going to be an x squared. X times 5 is going to be a positive 5x. X times 4 is going to be a positive 4x. And 4 times 5 is going to be a 20. The nice thing is when you have things in descending order, you can see that my like terms are on this diagonal. That a lot of times just helps being able to combine like terms. If you made a mistake, it's kind of organized. Things aren't being jumbled together. You don't have lines everywhere. So it's just easy, in my opinion, to keep things organized and to eliminate mistakes. That's why I love the box method. So the answer, which we already know, but I'm just going to write it out because I don't know, it's part of the video. All right, let's go through the last one, which is going to be how to do this in your head. That's not how you spell head. So I will do that again. And that's not a U, that's an A. Okay, so how do we do these problems in your head? Now, obviously, the answers I understand are, the numbers I'm working with are rather simple. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you have some higher numbers, then that's just going to require some higher calculations in your head. But when I have to multiply this and I'm trying to think like what is going to be the answer, and I don't want to write anything down, what I'm most concerned about is going to be the middle term, right? When we go back to our distributive property, these are the easiest ones. X times x, I know that's x squared, right? And then I look at the last, 4 times 5, that's 20. Those are rather kind of quick calculations to do. The hard calculations to do, or what I'm doing in my head, okay, is going to be the inner product plus the outer product. So in my head, I am thinking, what I'm thinking is going to be the inner plus the outer. So what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to look at this inner product, which is 4 times x, and I keep that in my brain. And then I'm going to add this to my 5 times x. So I have a 4x plus a 5x. 4x plus 5x is 9x. Then I can do these other quick calculations very, very quickly. So I look at that middle term first, the 4x, that's 9x. Okay, boom, it's done. Like that is like logged in my brain. Then I just add my first and my last. And again, it's really just me doing FOIL, but doing it in my head. But rather than like listing it, F.O.I.L, writing it all down, you can do the stuff in your head. Do the inner, outer, combine them, and do those calculations in your head, and then just add the first and the last. So again, we just think of this. We have an x squared. That was that 9x that I, calculated in my head and then kind of saved. And then I add this last product, which is going to be a 20. And there it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Those are going to be 4 options to multiply binomials. You need to make sure you have one or multiple in your arsenal. It's going to help you do math much faster. If you like this video and you want to see more examples of me working through problems involving quadratics, then check out the next video I have for here. Or if you really just like me comparing different math strategies, then check out the videos I have for you down below. Cheers.